I've sent letters to all the 6th grade parents that I don't have their records, and along with this, so that'll be a big day, but just wanted to throw that out there. And I had some high school kids tell me that they signed up too, so. Okay, so last week we did a big thing about Narcan. I just want to give you an update on that. Standing orders were approved through our last meeting. Then they were approved through the school board on 12/12. So then I sent the order to be signed, and so we have a standing order signed by Kevin Riney, who's a nurse practitioner. And I ordered Narcan like on the 6th or 7th of January. I can't remember exactly. It's like the first week of January. But they said it's a 45 to 60 day turnaround time on orders. So I expect us to get that any day. I've got enough for the police officers to have 2 doses in their vehicles, and then all campuses to have 2 doses. I'll probably keep it with the school nurses for now, and then whoever, like if I'm out or if the school nurse is out, they can delegate somebody to be over their emergency medicines. I'm sure y'all at your campuses have somebody who's over that. Well, it depends on everybody. Do y'all train all of your staff? So they, I probably, what I'm thinking we may do is just the next time we have a staff meeting, just do like a 5-minute, like we have Narcan now. If for some reason the school nurse is not here, whoever's working in her place will know where it's located and know how to give it or whatever. So my subs know about the Narcan too. So anyways, so we have it, and of course police officers too. So very rarely will both of us be out together, but that's good news. So we have it approved. So our school district now carries it. I saw on the news just last night, they were doing a story about, and I think it was, I don't want to quote it wrong, but it was one of the Dallas schools. They had an overdose just last night. They were talking about it and how it looked like Haiti, and it was a 13-year-old who had got it. So we're not talking about 18-year-olds. We're talking about kids, little bitty kids. So me having an 11-year-old, that's a little bitty kid to me. 13, I'm just thinking, what? So I was like, yeah, I'm really glad that we have that. And then last week they gave me 2 boxes of Narcan, so I actually have some for up here right now, just if we need it until ours comes in. And then I'll get the elementary schools some for sure. But anyways, that's good news. Okay, so we have the wellness plan that needs to be approved through us. So Ms. Clarkson is going to just kind of go over it and see if there's any questions or what we do.
I tried to find something that could condense this, because I know it's like everything else y'all have. It's long, you could talk a day about it. But this, the colored sheet is talking about the wellness policy, which is the other sheet is just one sheet. That's our wellness policy that is in board policy. And so what we're doing today is approving a plan to implement the policy, and that's required. A lot of, if you look on the colored sheet, it tells you what this implementation plan really means. There's a lot of things on there that I see that are required, curriculum required, and other areas required, but that you have to restate in this plan. And then the several sheets is what we have now, right now in place, the wellness plan. This is the very basic of what's required, and I really don't like to go above what's basically required, just for the pure fact when they come to audit us and they look at it and you're not doing something that you put in there, that will be just as big a finding as if you didn't have something in your basic plan. For instance, I'll go over this in just a minute. There was one of the schools in Paris, they had a lot of trouble with parents bringing a lot of stuff for parties and stuff, way too much sugar regularly all the time. So they put in their wellness plan that it would be limited once a month, or birthday parties, or whatever, that wasn't wasn't required, but they did it for their campus only. So if they came to be checked and they weren't following those rules, they would get in trouble just like if it was left out of the basic plan. So my idea is, and some of these things we are right now doing, and I say keep them because at some point, you've got to regularly check and see. They're wanting a certain number of minutes for lunch, and I don't know that we always get that at junior high school, but that's something to work toward. But if you'll look at this, it tells that things need to be posted on the website. Well, that's also a rule in SHAC meeting. So we're kind of covering things. You have to have, talks about food sold. They have to be, any food sold at school has to meet smart snack requirements, and there is a calculator on the website that you can actually put in the ingredients. A school day is from midnight to 30 minutes after the last bell rings for our wellness plan. So if you have any questions, if you want me to go over each one of these and we can talk about them, I'll be more than happy to. I just, the wellness policy includes everybody, mental health, physical health for students, faculty, and community. So that's why we have this group with community members, students, and it's supposed to be broadly based. They want us to have the smart snacks sold in every concession stand. It doesn't have to be all of it because that would be after the school day, but they want the nutritionally good value food, an option in there. And I have made suggestions to the people running the concession stand, but if it doesn't sell, we're not going to buy it. It just gets old, we're wasting our money. So that's something to work toward. You're not going to get in trouble if you don't meet this criteria. You just have to have this plan in place and know and keep trying to attain that goal and then be sure. So there's several things like that it says here, one of them on page 7, it says work with the district and campus child nutrition managers to develop menus that are in compliance with this objective and are designed at least once a month in advance. Well, by our rules in the lunchroom, you've got to do this anyway. But I mean, I'm glad it's being reset in this, making people understand that we're just not having rules for fun. I know people, and I know all of you too, a lot of people say, oh, they're just doing that to be mean. Well, no, it takes too much effort to be mean. You have to have an objective. You have to have action steps for each item in the policy. You have to have how you're going to measure that. In the lunchroom, they have a little thing they do once, especially now we're having more turnover. It's good for them to see what, are you serving the meals? What's a reimbursable meal? What else does that little gold thing say, that you fill out in October? Remember the little thing?
Reduce salad bar type stuff,
Right.
or salads.
Right. So we do that once or twice a year to be sure that they're not getting caught up in their day-to-day, that we're still following the rules. So this was actually checked, our last lunchroom audit. They actually checked this. They wanted to see if our last plan had the 3-year approval, if it had been approved by the SHAC, if it had been approved by the board. They wanted to see all that paperwork. So this is checked. I don't know if we didn't have it, what would happen, but I don't want to know. So I didn't want y'all to just broadly approve something if you didn't understand it, but let's see, they're wanting for the school, there's one in here talks about the facilities can be used for the community for wellness, and we do that. I know that we do a fun walk, a fun run that's involved with the students, with community people and adults. There's certain things. Then the SHAC, that brings in the SHAC does the dentist, the spine. What else do you do? Doesn't the dentist come, I know it's been COVID, but the dentist would come and check teeth, what was it, second grade, first grade, second grade, second grade? Yeah. And that's part of implementing through the SHAC, that's part of your wellness for these students. That's what's listed. That's why we need to, on the minutes, keep all that, because that's part of our implementation of the wellness policy. So, I hate, did y'all want to read this and go over each one? Or objective one, how we increase federal child nutrition programs. We want to increase by 2% at the end of each year. That's something, that's on page 5. We send home the lunch applications with the household letter, and we make them available anytime during the school year. So I don't know if we get it an increase of 2% every year. It's about the same now for the last.
What does that mean, kids that get free or reduced lunch?
Right.
What if they're all already on free or reduced lunch that?
Then we would have to amend this objective. You can go and see, that's what we're doing. If we need to change any of this, but right now, not everybody, we're just about 50%, a little over 50% district-wide. We get a list from the state once a month. It's kids that are automatically free or reduced, and then we do applications also. So we don't have to do as many applications as we used to because of that list. Our DC list, that's what I call that direct certified list from the state. There's about 500 in the district on that. Then the rest of our free reduced are by application.
Okay. So do you think about 50% who would qualify are on it? Or?
Oh, that's what's qualifying now.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
That's what's qualifying.
Yes,
Okay,
that's what's qualifying now.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's why we need to talk about it, because we did, this. So I just left the 2% in there because I'd like for it to increase, and we all do. The counselors, the lunchroom, the principals. They say, hey, send these people a lunch application. Let's see what we can do, because you can fill one out anytime in the year.
Okay.
It doesn't just have to be the first of the year. Then, let's see, the next page, the bronze levels, that's what I was talking about. I couldn't think of it. On page 6, there's a little scorecard, and I may have a copy of it in some of my things. They sit down together, the staff in the lunchroom, and go over it. And it, like she said, are you having fresh fruit, salads, things like that in there? That's just to keep them on track, to make sure we're doing that. Then, let's see. The bottom box on page 6, we have summer feeding program. Of course, we really did a really good job of distributing food during the pandemic, but we have the summer feeding available. A summer feeding program, anybody 18 or under, any child from anywhere can eat. They don't have to be free or reduced. They can just come and get a meal. And we do that in the month of June, and it's Monday through Friday at the Blossom campus and the Deadpool campus. Let's see. Page 7 is just objective 2 of that. And see, here's what I was talking about on page 8. It says at least 70% of high school students in each 4-year cohort will complete 1/2 credit of health education. That's required. So I don't know exactly.
We have way higher percentage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very few, because they get CPR certified in that, and I have to go through the seniors that
Right.
don't have the CPR and get those to do it, and it's like minimal, like max 5 kids that don't.
Right, and see, that's, so I don't know, I'm not fussing, but that just puts more weight to this, so that's good. Then the next one, objective 2, is all the PE grades are 80 or higher or above. And I know all of our PE grades are not physical education. I know they're not going to be 80 or above because some of them just don't participate. But that's a goal to work toward. I don't think we need to throw that out. I think that would be.
So that's a goal, but we don't have to meet that
No,
goal.
we're
Okay.
still, some of them we meet some years, and then the next year we might not. But I don't think the goals need to be changed just because of that,
Right.
you know. And if we don't meet them, there's nothing wrong with leaving that goal. Now, if it's something that we'll never meet, we might need to change it, but some of these, I think it's good to work toward. That 80, grade 80, everybody should be able to make 100 in PE, because unless it was graded like the time I tried to take tennis. That was a disaster. But anyway, 100, on page 9, the objective 2, 100% of the students will have access to drinking water at all times during the school day. And we do. Objective 1, on that, district staff will promote and integrate nutrition education facts during at least 2 district sponsors events in the school year. I don't know that we've ever really done that, but there's something we can work toward. Because it's called a nutrition education and district-wide priority. So, this next page. Each campus principal will determine appropriate annual professional development for staff responsible for nutrition education. So, we're sure that everybody that gets trained, all the lunch staff has to be trained. Then our PE teachers have to be trained. I'm sure there's nutrition education involved in that. Then objective 2, we do that for sure every time. All nutrition job descriptions will be updated to require at least the minimum qualifications. They have to have, depending on which level you are in the lunchroom, there's certain hours. The manager has to have 10 hours. The child nutrition director has to have 12 hours. That's every year. A regular staff has to have 6 every year training. So we do that, and we keep a record of all that. Make available and encourage the use of school fitness areas and equipment to all students. I realize that, you know, if you have class in there, you can't always, but there's a time where they can use the weight room, or where they can, you know, we can all do that. I actually just read a email not too long ago from Mr. Weddle. If the field wasn't being used, you could sign up for it and use it for whatever you wanted to, you know, just like arrangements, so. Now, page 12. I haven't done this one yet, but that doesn't mean we won't. 60% of district teachers who respond to a survey will report that physical activity breaks were regularly incorporated into their lessons. I'm sure many do, just to alleviate boredom and tension, but is it documented? You know, that's something that we might need to look at. I don't think we need to take it out, because I think that's very important, but. And then here, our nurses take care of objective 1. The district will offer a free low-cost health assessment to employees at least once per year. We did the scan, we have our insurance people come in and talk to us about our health insurance. We have many things for the faculty, so I think we're doing a great job there. Now here was the one that I was talking about, page 13. The objective 1, each campus will offer at least one event annually, either during or outside normal school hours. It includes physical activity, includes both parents and students in the event. The fun run, what else do we do? There's several things that might not be each campus, but everybody can be involved.
Their field day.
Yes, very good. Page 14, this is where we talk about breakfast. time to eat breakfast from the time the student, and lunch, from the time the student receives his or her meal and is seated. We want 10 minutes for breakfast, at least 20 minutes for lunch. I don't know that we always get that. I don't know, I know that probably D-Port could handle that. I don't know if Blossom always hits that. They're so full over there.
20 minutes to eat.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, it's, but, yes.
think so. Yeah.
That's something that could be, you know,
Is it because the lunchroom is not big enough?
yes,
It's because, yeah, they come too close together.
yes.
And rush them in and out.
Is there a better solution?
I had a few more minutes to their lunchtime.
Yeah, yeah, you know,
I mean,
Well,
we
see, they
feed,
make them do, they're
we
supposed
feed
to have
pre-K at
they're supposed to
12:10
have
and fifth grade
15,
12:25.
and then go outside for their recess.
a lot of schools are having their recess before lunch. Because a lot of the older students are not eating well just to have recess. There are a lot of
I know my
schools,
kid did that.
there are a lot of schools that have recess first.
Yeah, pre-K has their recess first and they sit down and eat.
Mhm. So, you know, it's something that, that could be, I don't know, that, if you want to mention, in the minutes that it was discussed that we need to talk about this, or a recommendation that they could, a recommendation that they could try to have more minutes for a meal. I mean,
I don't know that there is a solution, I was just wondering.
well, no, it's been talked about.
Well, a lot of times the kids will get in there and that's their first chance to talk to their
Yes,
friends.
yes,
And they don't
yes.
eat, they talk and don't eat.
Well, say again, then having a recess first, and
You know,
here,
they can talk and.
what the problem was, the one lunchroom, because now, especially with so short-staffed, you can't find enough people to work, teachers and all, they're sharing staff at the high school and junior high. And so, at one point, there were 4. Junior high had 2 lunch periods, and high school had 2 lunch periods. And so, then when this sharing of staff, they had to coordinate, the junior high and high school had to coordinate their schedules to line up correctly, then that shortened the meal time, and so it went to 2 periods. So, that, I kind of fussed a while about that, and it didn't do any good. But anyway, I mean, it's not something that we need to just throw away, we need to still work on, because I think there could be.
That's a good goal.
Yes, again, I want it to be a goal, I don't want to get rid of it just because we can't do it. I think it's something we need to work toward. And then down at the bottom of page 14, at least one athletic event sponsored by the district in which food and beverages are sold, each concession vendor will offer at least one food and beverage that meets the smart snacks standards. Well, if we sell water, we got that, but I don't know that. What you do is it's a little calculator, if you want to just Google it, smart snacks calculator, and you can take the package of whatever it is and put it in that calculator and see if it complies. And that's what we have to do in the lunchroom to see if any of the things we sell, anything we sell has to meet that requirement. So,
Is that like a national calculator thing, or is it just
yes,
Texas?
yes,
Okay.
yes, this is from USDA.
Okay.
USDA, in the lunchroom, we follow all the rules of USDA. TDA, Texas Department of Agriculture, is much more strict than USDA. So if you look up rules on USDA, it may not be exactly, you'll need to go to TDA's website, and that's squaremeals.org.
Okay.
Then on page 15, all classrooms or campus celebrations will include at least one item that is Smart Snacks compliant. I don't know that when this first came out in the Healthy Hunger Free Act, Kids Acts of 2006, I believe, everything provided to the students had to be Smart Snack compliant. And then they backed off from that because you couldn't have birthday cake. So anything sold, if it's given away, like a teacher uses M&Ms for math class, and she gives them M&Ms, that's okay, you won't be in trouble if she gives it to them. So, anyway, this is just full, I don't wanna keep you, I mean, like I say, you could work on this all day long and try to figure it out, but this is minimal, and I don't think that I don't see any changes that we need to do, but if you do, that's, you know.
Well, as long as they're just goals that we don't have to meet.
No, they're not, they're just goals. No, because then what would you do if you met all the goals, then you'd have to start over and have bigger.
Right.
No, we don't get in trouble for not meeting them. We get in trouble for not having a plan and working toward it and trying to implement it. Okay? So, if we approve this, then it has to go to the board, and it's recognized and approved there too. And we do this once every 3 years. And we did this in 2019, and so it's time again.
Okay. So does anybody want to, motion that we approve this wellness plan? Does anybody have anything that they would like to change? Or think it's pretty good for goals?
Or any questions? I mean, I went through this quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I make a motion to approve it.
Me too.
Okay.
On the athletics,
Uh-huh.
Coach Shirey was talking to us about we could go into the weight room after school
Good.
anytime.
Well, good. Well, good for him. Good, thank you. Because I didn't know what they did. I knew that the ones I talked to, it was available. That's good. Thank you.
We had a motion and a second. I think she wrote it down. Everybody, we want to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes. Any opposed? Okay, no one's opposed.
Okay, good.
Approved.
Good.
Done and done. Okay, so those are some things on there too, like if we want to look through that and later you see a goal on there that maybe we're not meeting and then you have an idea to improve it, maybe
And
we
we
can
don't
bring
have
that.
to, yes, we don't have to wait 3 years.
Yeah.
We can wait and put it in and then submit it again. I mean, that's not a problem. We just have to do it every 3 years. So if you see anything you want to do, and this was a template that I got, you can see, I left it on there where you can see it. Well, this template, they actually suggested this was what to be used. So, yes, and any questions, squaremeals.org, so much information there, make your eyes cross. But it's the TDA website for child nutrition for us. There.
Thank you for doing all that and preparing all that and giving us all that information. That's good, so. And then we'll, I'm gonna look through that and if we do something easy that maybe it's just a matter of us getting together to help, then we'll do that.
Yes.
Okay, so, we're okay to move on then?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, perfect. So, we've been talking a lot about mental health, and so, I heard about the young program, but I wanted to know more myself, so I thought it'd be cool if we kind of got Ms. Sykes to tell us a little bit more about it, because it's something new that we're doing at school, so. Ms. Sykes?
Okay, well, back in the early spring, fall, whenever we started school, we get lots of emails about lots of different programs. And one popped up between myself and Mr. Massano, and it was called YAM, Youth Mental. It stands for Youth Aware of Mental Health, and it came from UT Tyler. So we looked into it, called about it, got some information, had to fill out lots of paperwork. It's a free program. It's an evidence-based program that ensures youth participation. It came through work through UT Southwestern, and then all these other smaller colleges went and had facilitators that were trained, and those are the people that are coming into the schools and doing it if you want to. It's delivered by certified facilitators to the students in a classroom setting. It's 5 lessons that they come in. They send their people that are trained to come in. They don't want myself in there or a teacher in there. They want their facilitators to do it, so to build just sort of the information between those and the students so they'll feel comfortable. Like I say, it's a 5-week thing. Well, there's 5 lessons and you can do it a different way. We're doing it every Tuesday for 5 weeks. Yesterday was supposed to be our last day, but it'll be next week because of the ice storm. So, like I say, they come in, it's an interactive setup that they do. There's two facilitators in there with y'all. Each of the students got a little booklet that they have, that they carry with them every time. The themes are, the first one is what is mental health, self-help advice, stress and crisis, depression and suicidal thoughts, helping a friend in need, and who can I ask for advice. So each one of those are the things that they go through, and they have worksheets and little activities. I've talked to some of the students, like, what do you think about that? The majority of them say, hey, we like it, it's weird, you know, it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's given us a lot of resources and information about that. I mean, it's not an easy subject to talk about. There's a few that say, oh, it's dumb, but they're kind of immature and they think everything's dumb. So, overall, the feedback that I've got from the students think that it's well, you know, it's been worth their time. And I've had lots of good things. Some students need that and feel comfortable with it. I mean, you know, just having some information at the fingertips of how to get help or how to talk to their friends or recognize some of those signs and symptoms, you know, is a great thing. It is a hard subject to talk about, but we're just doing it for our 8th graders right now, and depending on how it winds up, we'll probably do it again for 8th grade next year. But what do y'all think? Y'all mean that?
It's a good program.
It's good for kids that think that kind of stuff and like, just like aren't, like don't have friends and like don't know what to do at school, and it's good for them to know like stuff like that.
Maybe give them some confidence to ask for help if they need it.
They are very nice. They let us do as little or as much as we want to, just with a few simple rules. So
It doesn't feel like it's a lot of pressure to do anything. Oh, that's cool.
I mean, yes, it is kind of silly, but
But if it helps one person, it helps one person.
That's right. So we're pleased with it so far, and I think at the end they may give them a questionnaire or something, and may get feedback from that. Some programs do that. So I'm not sure. We'd have one more session.
Do they point you, like, after they leave, do they point you to like local people that could help them? Or how does that work? Or is it just like all the,
I don't know. They've got a book that I'm sure they've got helpline, the
yes,
hotlines,
they have.
information, all that in there. Yeah. They've not, and I guess if some student reached out to them and said something that they would come to us, they haven't approached us for anything, but like all of them have that little book. It has all the hotlines in it.
At the back, it has all kinds of crisis hotlines, stuff like that.
What class period are they doing this?
And we're doing it through our ag classes,
Okay.
since that's an elective, and I think all but 13 of our 8th graders have ag, so those students I just pulled and stuck them
Okay.
in there, so every 8th grader has gotten it. Anyway,
that's really neat.
but it's an evidence research-based program that's new, and like I say, we liked it, and we liked the topics, and thought it was pertinent to our students. So that is it.
And that's perfect for our wellness plan
I
that
think
we listed, because that is the mental health.
There you go.
And that, I mean, that's, we need to mention everything that we do, because I don't know what's outside my little office all the time.
That was me too. I heard kids talk about him, and I'm like, what's him?
We did not send permission slips home, but we did send a flyer home with the students, and then we put it on Facebook, you know, our little Prairiland thing that we were doing it for them. Nobody opted out. I mean, you know, there's been programs in the past that we've had that we had to get a permission slip, and then some parents wouldn't want to sign it or whatever. And sometimes parents don't. They think their kid doesn't need it, or that we're putting these ideas into their head. That's not really the case. So we chose not to send the permission slip. We did send an information sheet.
That's cool.
That's all I got. I had it on the board, but her website wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
There's
I'm
pretty
sorry.
pictures on the board with it, but it
I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
pull it up.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. That's awesome. Because
It's called YAM, Y-A-M, if you want to look it up.
Candace, while you were talking about the kids that OD'd or whatever, there was actually 3 kids, and I think it was in Carrollton.
Carrollton, that's what it was.
And, but I couldn't find any information on, because one thing I saw yesterday, and I meant to record channel 8, because it was the one that had the report on it, and then I recorded a different channel. Anyways, it said that the parents, so I didn't see the whole report, but it said the parents had gone to the school and asked for help, so I don't know, like, was the school, that's what I wanna know, was the school aware of it? Because the one I saw, he died at home. Like, Mom went to get him that morning and he was already dead. So I didn't know, like, as far as the school is concerned, like, what hand the school had in it, if any. I mean, I know they always wanna blame the school for everything, you know,
Yeah.
you're the reason my child's messed up. I just wanna know what,
They had, what I had heard of is the same one. There was someone selling it close to the school, but they were getting some of the students to come in and then carry it back to the school.
okay.
So, and that may be, that
Well,
was one of them.
I was really mad at myself, I recorded it wrong.
Yeah.
And I found it on the Facebook page, I looked it up a minute ago and saw that it was actually 3 students, but, I didn't know how,
I think that's the connection.
and it was all 3 middle school
Mhm.
kids.
I just caught part of it.
This house was located close to the high school and the middle school.
Where the drug dealers were.
And they were getting the kids to carry it.
And a lot of things too, I mean, we've got 2 8th graders in here. I have kids that say, oh, well, so-and-so gave me Tylenol earlier. Okay, that's fine, if it's just Tylenol, but how do you know it's just Tylenol? That's why we have a very strict policy, all medicines, even if it is just Tylenol, cough drops, anything. I had a kid, give another kid what they thought was just a cough drop. Well, it had Mucinex in it, and it wasn't just a cough drop, it was Mucinex and a cough drop. So that was a whole ordeal. So, just getting the word out there, like, do not take anything from a friend, because you may think it's just Tylenol for a headache, but it's not
They
Tylenol.
get it from their parents, and it might
Yeah.
not be, their parents might be doing the wrong thing, you know, you don't know.
No. So that's why, anytime I hear that, okay, well, who's the friend that gave it to you? I need to go get it right now. Because I don't want that to be a normal culture around here where we can get medicine from friends. Even high school kids, even 17-year, 18-year-old kids. I mean, they're gonna be graduated soon, but still, it needs to be the culture here that all medicines come through here. That way I know for a fact that it's just Tylenol or just ibuprofen. So, that's a huge concern for me personally, is because just getting that message out there that, yeah, it's totally innocent. I'm totally just getting it for a headache, but we don't know for sure, 100% sure that that's just Tylenol. You know, I don't know. I don't know how we get that message out there more, or maybe at the beginning of the year when we do like the assemblies at the beginning, just say, hey, by the way, all medicines go through the nurse, just so that it's covered and everybody gets the message. I don't know. But anyway, if y'all see any friends or anybody handing out medicine, they're not gonna be in trouble. I just need to know so that I can make sure it's just not. Anyway, I'll pass off that. But yeah, that's scary. That's why I was really excited for our district to approve the Narcan. There are some districts that won't approve it because they're afraid that creates the, well, if they got Narcan, that means they can do drugs. That's not the whole reason why we do
No.
Narcan.
And
So,
it's not like we're advertising it out there.
No.
I mean, they could find out we have it, but.
We keep it secret.
I know, but the Narcan is not a permission to take other drugs. It doesn't always work, unfortunately, but it's good to have it. So I'm thankful. I'm excited for our district that we approved that. And I'm excited that we're doing stuff like this for mental health. Okay, so for next, we got about just a few minutes. So for next meeting, I was just me personally, I'm just thinking, if we wanted to take, that we approve this wellness plan, if you wanna kinda just glance over it and see, like, there's something that you think, hey, maybe we can help meet that goal in an easy way, or make it better. It might just be something that nobody's even realized that we need to, like,
Yes,
that we need to do. So if there's something that we could help our school to meet our goals, then maybe we could just go over that, look over it. And then there was some other, on the, agenda. I don't have it in front of me. I typed out, when I sent out emails a couple weeks ago about, topics that we thought maybe we needed to cover. Distracted driving, shattered dreams, teens in the driver's seat. So it sounds like the driving thing is a big concern. Do we do anything like a mock break or anything like that?
Yeah, they do a mock break every
Other year.
other
We
year,
haven't-
or every
We
2
haven't
years.
had one,
well, it's
Since
since
COVID.
COVID,
yeah.
it used to be every other year. And I don't remember who was Miss Sessoms in charge of that?
Try. I don't remember,
I'd have to ask.
but it's been
Indian.
even pre-COVID, because I think the last one we had, Mark Murdoch was the junior or senior, so that's been a while.
It's probably time to do it again.
And we all, at one point, all the schools were kind of on a rotation.
Yes, yes. They were all doing it.
Between all the county schools.
Because it's a big thing to coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it
With all the EMS people.
Yeah, as I have a middle schooler, and just feel like, I think that's probably part of it is a lot of us have kids that are getting ready to drive, and it's kind of scary.
Honestly, it's just for high school, junior high doesn't go.
No, just the high schoolers. Yeah, I think that's best, because I think junior high, we have a lot. I remember from when I was in high school doing mock rec, and I remember how much it, like, but, I don't know if that's, something we just can just check into, see when the next one is, or what we're gonna do. I don't know if there's like somebody that can do like a, I don't know if we have like an assembly or something about not texting and driving, or maybe, I don't know.
We had one at North Lamar at one point. It's been a while ago, but actually, their daughter had died in a texting and driving accident, and they actually brought her car or truck, I can't remember what it was, but they brought it out so the kids could look at it in the parking lot, and then the parents gave their little, we had an assembly in the gym, and the parents spoke, and it was really, really good, and, because the kids just don't think. And the parents talked about how there was 2 ways to get to their house, and they always told her, go the main way because it's more well trafficked and da-da-da, and they were like, guess which way she went? The other way, we told her, just stuff like that, and that seeing her car made a big impact on a lot of our kids, or it seemed to at that time, so something like that might be something, and I couldn't tell you who it was, that's been too many years, but Paul Allen would have been there. He's a good resource to reach out to. He's the head of the chamber now too, so.
Maybe we can get that. And then mental health was another one, but we kind of talked about that with the we're doing that. I know it's always, I have one in my office today about bullying. It's like, we can't always stop it from happening, but I do feel like we do have support at school to try to help deal with it. I'm not really sure. Just one of those things you can't completely cut out, because kids are gonna be ugly.
We used to have more assemblies and things like that, like pre-COVID on things,
Yes.
maybe it's time to start looking into some of those again, but,
Yeah.
for just various things, we've had them along the way.
So maybe check into, the assemblies of driving and maybe bullying or something. We can do that. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Good. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Thank you, Candace.
You put that out? Turn it off.